One day, a young man came to visit Lord Buddha and was very upset. He asked Lord Buddha, "Lord, please do tell me why I suffer a lot. I am unable to bear the sorrow of my life and my loved ones as well. Please guide me as to what shall I do." Lord Buddha looked at that young man with compassion and said, "Do you have a son?" Young man replied, "Yes, Lord, I do." Lord Buddha asked, "And what about your brother? Does he have a son?" Young man replied, "Yes, Lord, he has a son too." Lord Buddha asked again, "Do your neighbors have a son?" Young man replied, "Yes, Lord, they too have sons." "And do tell me, does the person not known to you personally have sons?" asked Lord Buddha. Young man replied, "Yes, Lord, a lot of people do have a son." Lord Buddha asked, "Now do tell me, if your son dies, how sad will you be?" Young man replied, "Lord, I would feel extremely sad. I would not be able to bear the loss of my son and feel that my entire world has crumbled down." Lord Buddha asked again, "If your brother's son dies, do tell me, how sad will you feel?" Young man replied, "Lord, I would feel incredibly sad, but not to the extent of losing my son." Lord Buddha said, "If your neighbor's son dies, do tell me, how sad will you feel?" Young man replied, "Lord, I would feel some sadness, but not to the extent of losing my brother's son." Lord Buddha asked again, "If the son of a person dies who is not known to you personally, how sad will you feel?" Young man replied, "Lord, I would not feel any sadness." Then Lord Buddha asked, "So the severity of your sadness is proportional to your what?" "Lord, the degree of sadness is relative to me or mine," the young man said, after a moment's thought. "I'll be sadder the more I claim something as my own." Lord Buddha said, "It implies that you experience grief from those you consider to be yours." The young man said, "Yes, Lord, that is right." Lord Buddha said, "So tell me one more thing. Does your son build sand castles when you take him to the beach?" Young man replied, "Yes, Lord, he does." Lord Buddha asked, "Does your son cry when the waves break the sand castles?" Young man said, "Yes, Lord, he does." Lord Buddha asked, "What made him cry?" Young man said, "Lord, the child sheds a tear because he considers the castle to be beautiful and permanent." Lord Buddha said, "It implies that your son is emotionally attached to it. Do you, on the other hand, cry or not?" Young man replied, "No, Lord, I don't." Then Lord Buddha asked, "Why don't you cry?" Young man replied, "Since I am aware that the sandcastle is neither permanent nor mine, so when the waves break it down, I don't cry." Lord Buddha said, "You have realized that the attachment lies at the core of your grief. You will continue to suffer in this eternal world if you do not perceive the truth for what it is. You and the children who cry when the sandcastles are washed away by the waves are exactly the same." After hearing these remarks from Gautama Buddha, the man realized that attachment was the true source of his misery. Only by completing our responsibilities but remaining detached from them, we can live a happy life. In this narrative, Buddha has taught us a magnificent lesson about non-attachment. If we look at our own lives, we will realize that if we attach ourselves to something or someone, we would have to deal with extreme pain and disappointment after they leave us or something bad happens to them. We suffer as a result of our own attachment to external objects or persons that are, in reality, not ours and beyond our control. If we want to live a happy life, we must learn to let go of our attachments. Then and only then, we will be able to live a happy and a pleasant life. So keep a note that the less attached you are the more peaceful your life will be.